Hi everybody, Robert Jacobson here, the founder of the Recovery Network and the co-creator of 12 Steps and the Bible. Today I want to give you an inside tour of this powerful ebook. And I'd like to start down here with this paragraph that you're seeing right here. It starts out that this 12 Steps in the Bible was written with support from church leaders and counseling professionals, and by those who have suffered from addiction and who have experienced the miracle of recovery through the power of Jesus Christ and the 12 steps. Now, the last half of that paragraph down here is Shelley and I. We have experienced the miracle of recovery through the power of Jesus Christ and the 12 steps. And you will too. This ebook is a powerful ebook for anybody who is battling an addiction right now. I don't care if it's a drug addiction or a alcohol addiction or a cigarette addiction, whatever addiction it is. This 12 Steps in the Bible can break that bondage of addiction and give you a life that is happy, joyous, and free. Now let's move into briefly here the Alcoholics Anonymous. What I did want to say too before I move on is you can see here I'm moving down all of these instant access topics here. We got step 1, step 2, step 3, faith, step 4, courage. You can instantly go to any of these just by clicking on them. I can go to step 4, courage, step 5, integrity. And that's the beauty of an ebook, is that you can instantly go to where you need to go. But back to Alcoholics Anonymous and World Services. This is just a little excerpt that the foundation for this study is taken from the original version of the 12 Steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. And here is the 12 Steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, all the way through, all 12 steps. And then we get into the table of contents, introduction, and then step 1, honesty. And these words right here after each step is exactly what we are doing and what we're experiencing as we are working those steps. Like step 1, of course, when we take step 1, we're being honest. And step 2 is hope for our lives. Step 3 is an act of faith, and so on and so forth. So let's move into the introduction. And let me read just a little bit of this to you. Whether you yourself struggle with addiction or associate with someone who does, this guide can be a blessing in your life. The 12 Steps of Alcoholics Anonymous have been adapted into a framework of doctrines, principles, and beliefs of the Judeo-Christian faith. They are presented in this 12 Steps in the Bible guide as key principles at the beginning of each section. This guide will help you learn how to apply these key principles, and they can and will change your life. And they will. So what that's saying is that at the beginning of each step, let's go into step 1 right here, you're going to get coaching, you're going to get commentary, you're going to get real life experiences, you're going to get actually really a virtual sponsor in print here that can walk you through each step and tell you what they've gone through, what I've gone through, what we have gone through collectively, which will help you. You probably have heard the saying, you are not alone anymore, and you're not. But let me read this first one here. Step 1, honesty. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol and that our lives had become unmanageable. Many of us began our addiction out of curiosity. Some of us became involved because of justifiable need for a prescription drug or an act of deliberate rebellion. Many began this path when barely older than children. Whatever our motive for starting and our circumstance, we soon discovered that the addiction relieved more than just physical pain. And so you'll read through things like this. As you go through this step 1, they all are like this. Encouragement, experience, strength, and hope. Here's some action steps right up here that we suggest that you take. Become willing to abstain. And we'll travel down here a little bit further. Let go of pride and seek humility. Let me read this paragraph right here real quick to you. It says right here that pride and honesty cannot coexist. Pride is an illusion, and it is an essential element in all of addiction. Pride distorts the truth about things as they are, as they have been, and as they will be. It is a major obstacle to your recovery. Pride is a very misunderstood sin. And just that paragraph alone, just sheds some light on what we go through when we're in the middle of addiction. So as we travel down this step one, there's more content, and then we get into a really good question and answer time where you can really do some soul searching. We got here encompassed by temptations. Do you feel encompassed or trapped? When do you feel this way most often? And what you can do is you can print this out, like for instance, like step one right here. If you want to print this out, you can just go over to this icon right here, hit print. I'm hitting print. There we go. And so, you know how the print function works. You can just print out, just that step. You can print out all of it, and then that way you can work with it wherever you are. So let's move into hope. Step two is hope. Step three is faith. So on and so forth, all the way through all the 12 steps. And each step has a series of scriptures in it that will encourage you. You can hear directly what the Bible has to say about those steps as they directly relate to each step, the scriptures that directly relate to each of the individual steps. But that's kind of a quick tour. I don't know how good it was, but I appreciate you taking the time to look at it. If you haven't picked up your copy of 12 Steps in the Bible, I encourage you to do so. It's a thorough roadmap, a step-by-step roadmap to anyone who wants to conquer addictions, to reign over addictions, and to break the bondage over addiction in their life. And I encourage you to pick up a copy. That's it for me. See you later. Robert Jacobson. Goodbye.